Kitten, no, no.
Okay, I must have gone by this on the way to Ravenna. 80 is just about 3 miles from there. Maybe 6 times last month. And what's been throwing me off is this. So it's an 8 and it's a Ford, but the round symbol. So I'm saying this is early 50s. So let's see. Early 1950s shoebox. Flathead V8. Column shift the way things are supposed to be. 11,000 seems a little high. She's got a little patina, but not a lot of patina. Nice new rims. Look at the size of that back seat. Damn. Whew. Trunk. Like you could fit one of those big wooden trunks in there. She doesn't have a lot of rust. She just needs a good paint job. Nice. Drums are good shape. Maybe needs some glass. Just needs some refinements. Huh, 6-volt original patina. There's quite a hood ornament there. Like that one. There's a lot of chrome. For some reason I thought it was like a Hornet when I first looked at it. It looked like an H, but that's really an 8. Very cool. Well, it's supposed to rain today. It hasn't. And I planted grass yesterday, more grass seed over there. Because while it's looking okay here, it's actually fairly thin and needs some more grass seed. But anyhow, I went in the marketplace and I found this kit here. So got a lot for $80. This is gonna need some cleanup, but thought it was a Stanley. It's a kid's toolkit, 1975 Skillcraft. It has somewhat usable kid tools, chisels, mallet, saw, little tiny drill bit, pliers, I don't know about that, hammer, etc. So I'm going to try and clean it up in case I ever have any grandchildren that like that. I thought it was a Stanley, so I'm kind of disappointed, but I didn't check. I mean, by the time you negotiate and you get out there and you just buy the stuff. What the hell? Oh, this is a face shield. Good for when you're doing woodworking. Transformer, probably never need. Dogs are really gonna like that. Lots of dog line there. This one's good to go. More. These are clamps for hanging things. Ooh, nice. That's for making, wow, there's some good stuff in there. Plugs, so like you want to plug a screw hole in there. Nice. This is a sharpening carbide. That's a Crown tool. That's nice. I can demonstrate here. No, I can't, but if you have a knife, this is straightens the steel out. This I did see, and it's a newer draw handle. Nice guard on there. I don't know, this is Austria, so it might be from the Austrian area. Some clamps, I'll probably just donate those directly. I don't know what this is. That's weird. What is this? Oh, more wire. Ooh, set screw. What kind of wire is it? Nobody knows. Spring steel? It's a Malin wire. And so that was what drew me in. But these boxes here, which appear to be mostly empty, may be handy for organization. I didn't check. I really hope that this has stuff in it. Sounds like it does. These are very handy boxes. Screws. Okay, it's got some screws. Some big weather-treated Phillips screws. Somebody's a woodworker. Pop rivets. Obviously, I could use these for anything. Hey, yeah, we got some pop rivets. What the heck? Those are pop rivets. What those are? Like little pulleys. Ironically, I have a lot of pop rivets. Those are big pop rivets. So that's handy. That's not that we're looking for money worth, but that's worth 20 bucks easy. Concrete paint mixer. Let's see what's in here. Screws and nuts. Yep. There's some brass screws and nuts. Set screws. Always use more. And I like because these are fixed. They're not going to go anywhere. What in the heck? Some old-fashioned flashlights. Fulton in the U.S. Remember my neighbor having these growing up. I don't know what the heck these are. Potentiometers from Mexico. And I knew this was here, but I also knew it wasn't that high quality because I could read that it was from China, Windsor Design, which I think is actually Harbor Freight. But you know, you never know. Okay, so this is for working on a lathe. Yeah, it's a nice set. They're all there. Well, we'll probably keep on that. It's a good design though, as far as storage ability. Okay, so we're gonna keep that. We'll keep all this, and then what do we got here? Test leads. Probably use those. Like alligator clips are handy. All the brushes, which is ironic because we already have too many. This one's really horsehair, as well as this. This is more of a drafting brush. I know that because I took drafting in high school. Yes, I did. Sandpaper. That's always handy. Oh, wow. Oh, geez. Soldering iron. Yeah, we're good there. Bits are bits. Bits are bits. Container's probably the handiest part of all that. Teflon tape. What's in here? Knife. Warner. That's a good knife. Needs a little lubrication because it's a little rusty there. This is going to be interesting. Yankee. Router bits. Hey, there's a router bit in there. There's one router bit. Okay, that's a... Looks like you can make window sashes with 2 of those. Maybe the other one will be in here. Tracks for a pocket door. Sliding doors. Yeah, okay. Hinges. Yeah, I'll keep those. A mallet for wood. Whoa, no. Take that back. A very old Impact. What do you call it? Like there's the W. Wow. I assume some of them are there. That's a really old case. I thought it was a hammer mallet. That's an antiques. Storage. Big drill bits. An alien. Little tiny baby iron. Some taps. Some long taps. This, I remember this is a saw vise. So when you're sharpening an old-fashioned handsaw, tighten that to your workbench, and then this clamps onto your saw bench. It's got a deep throat for large, deep, big saws. Oh, wow. Okay. Hole punch, leather punch. I have one of these, so put that in the donate pile. Third hand. Never know when you need that for soldering. Holy cow, he did throw some things in there. Sandpaper. Wow. You know what this is? This is so those binding straps to clamp and compress the crimp them. It's an old one too. Acme steel. Model 1? Yeah, that's cool. That is neat. Will I use it? Probably not. Sample? Drugs. Cool. Some hand tools. Yep. Yeah. Handles. Yep. Knife. Yep. We'll go through this. Oil can top for long oiler. I must admit, my ability to directionalize is going way. I think fire truck's that way. Oh, anyhow, we'll go dig through this. This is a very old wallpaper trimmer. I think I have one of these actually, but I don't think I have the box. It's for cutting wallpaper. So it just fits right in your hand like that, I guess. I must admit I've never hung wallpaper before. Really big chisel. It's at least 2 inches. Stanley. Some really nice putty knives. These are the flexible kind. Again, an old hand plane low angle with a very custom knob. They're normally a brass knob. No idea what that is yet. I thought it was something to do with this, but I don't know. Whole bunch of, that's an aggressive Stichler, West Germany. A lot of little hand tools, files, that sort through. Nope, there we go. Some kitchen scissors. We'll put that directly in. I mean, these aren't bad, but I got nicer scissors. We'll put those in the to donate. Some tape, more file handles, more putty knives. Oh, this is for tire tread. How deep the tread is on a tire, so you can tell if your tires are worn. It's probably before they had marks. This looks interesting. Feel good. Keep late those. More putty knives, various knives, wrenches. Sometimes you find some really cool wrenches. Top wrench. That's a metric. This looks like a old one. The old 156B. Billings, Hartford, Connecticut. Okay. No idea what that Y is for. Oh, a pair of scissors. Favorware. Those are pretty good. Watch case opener for holding a watch. Some sort of sliding latch for like a window. Not a clue. Although if I were a betting man, I would say that's for breaking glass. These might be good scissors. Snips. Oh, yeah, we'll lift this out and see what's underneath. Remember these from the ad. So there's 3 digital timers, which are handy for when you're making food. We'll definitely keep late those. Then we got, this. I think this is for dividing rods, finding water. I hear that this works, but I think you need 2. Usually you want 2. Yeah, all the snap rings for the rest of my life. That's cool. That's worth a few bucks. Another one of these. I did find that one. It's got a few nuts and bolts in there. This sounds like it's got a few nuts and She was attached to this a few minutes ago. Okay, some more screws. Cool. Well, I think I'm going to have to box this back up and sort this another day. This is a little daunting, but I think I got my $80 worth. There's some cool things. There's some things I'll probably donate and some keep and some, but I definitely a keeper. So it's a Skinner seal pipe joint clamp. So basically for like a wire clamp, you just tighten it up with the different sizes. It's old. Yep, for 1 1/4 to 2 1/4 inch clamps, number 1. Very cool. Yeah, I'm sold. Oh, this is kind of handy. This is a really long Craftsman. It's got a light attachment, but the battery's dead, or the LED's dead. But it's got a magnet on the end, fairly strong. So we'll keep on that. We're just slowly making our pile of 2 donates. That's probably the most important. Well, here we are. Last week this stopped working, and it hasn't been really hot until the last 2 days. So since it was charged before and working, I assume I've got a leak somewhere. So I bought some dye/sealant. This is the tool I use to open up the Schrader valve. So basically this allows me to slide in. Oh, shit, don't do that. That's juice is coming out. That's great. And then go in, remove the Schrader valve, and then allow the fluid to move in 100%. Let me go see what these fucktards are up to. But hopefully this will seal it up. And I'm gonna use my UV light and see if I can find out where the leak is. What's going on? One's chained, the other one's not. This is going great. I got yellow dye all over me, and it leaked down there. I got the system wide open, but it doesn't seem to be turning on. Not surprising. I got to read the error code on this, but I did set it for a call for. So I got my UV light out. Can you tell where I got the sealant UV dye all over my hands? It's kind of hard to tell, isn't it? Yeah. You can also tell when I clean my hands later how much they glow. I don't know why this is so much fun, and it just glows. The mail glows white. Yeah. Let's go see if we can find a leak. I don't know if I'm gonna find one. Oh, that's where the pee is from the dogs and the cats. Oh, wow. This also works good for finding urine. So I got this all buttoned up, so I don't know quite where to leak. But oh, we might be leaking on our TUV. Well, I gotta turn the camera off because the camera light's showing right now, but sure seems like there's some, I thought I saw some leakage down here. We're not quite sure what they're doing here. And why the sidewalks so far back. They bolted these in, they literally drilled holes in the concrete and they bolted them to the concrete. Building something out there. I'd hate to be Canados. They have like no sidewalk. I don't even know how you get in there to get your food. I guess you gotta go over there. I'm told they were gonna remove these trees this next week. Well, I grew up about 1/8 of a mile down that way. Our area's nice, not this fancy. Maybe a little clean up over there. Your own boat. Oh, take your own boat. New driveway. Long driveway. So there's an estate sale down here. I had to park across the street. What is this? Looks like they paved over the brick. That's a new technique. I guess that's a good base. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Just pave over the brick. Yeah, well, let's see what's inside. A log bridge. fucking late 70s build here, based on the carpeting everywhere and the wallpaper. It has a little bit of a 3D feeling to it. Well, it's Friday night, so sure, let's cut another piece. So this is the piece that was had a little cutout in the corner that I fucked up on because I didn't have the right tools. This is upside down, but I was able to cut it so that the polish edged here and here. When I flip it and rotate it, this will be the outside corner. So the countertop's like this. I put this piece here, this piece will go there, but this will be on the outside, so that will work. So I didn't have to polish anything is what I'm getting at. And then I also managed, then I have no square here. I got this rounded square, so I don't have to fill any gaps. Although I see there's a big fuck up there I need to attend to. Cool. Other than that, I think we're ready to go feed the dogs and then flip this in. Just, you know, flip it in. That's all I got to do. So at the estate sale I went to earlier today, I bought this for $4 and a pair of scissors. Obviously she's broken. She's a little rusty. I think I could prime it after I weld this foot back together. It's supposed to have a little nub and a screw. There's no way I'm getting that screw out. That thing's rusted in place. Might have been green at one point. But I'm just gonna weld a big chunk on there and, you know, grind it down, make it look nice. I think this bird has a little fishy in its mouth. So, but first we're gonna measure this table. So I know the proportions, the length versus height, and then I'm going to cut this, one of these two blocks, probably this big one out here, similarly, so that the same size. Then I'm gonna put a hole in it. Then I'm gonna put that umbrella stand and get rid of that. And if it isn't heavy enough to keep it from moving, I'll double up and I'll stack two. Like I'll put a baby one on top or something. But that should be pretty heavy. Yeah. If not two, we'll definitely do it. I could always make a bigger one, but I want to kind of mimic this. Well, we're done for the night for two reasons. One is it's getting late. This worked well. This is a hole saw, diamond hole saw. I forgot to get the hole out, which did work well. We'll see how this holds up, but that looks a lot nicer than that, which wasn't even mine. That's my daughter's. She kind of abandoned here. So we'll see how that works. It seems pretty dense. It's not as heavy as that. I don't know if it needed to be. It seems to be pretty good there. So I finished that piece and I went to go move the stuff to, you know, temporarily install it on top of the plywood, and I realized, why is it square? It should be rectangle. I don't know what the F I thought, but I wasn't supposed to cut anything off. I don't know why I thought I did. So this is supposed to be 12 inches longer, which is exactly what I cut off. So that's great. And then it gets even better. This one's really good. So I got two pieces for the corner. The corner 36 by 36. These are both 36 by 36. The piece that I cut off last week, I wasn't supposed to cut off all that one. That's the one I'm supposed to use, the one I've just cut for. Meaning the short piece that I cut last weekend should have been out of this, not the taller one, because it needs to be 42 inches, which is 8 inches, 42 for 36, 8 inches longer than this, which is exactly the length it was. So, hey, I didn't need to cut that one, the length, just the width. Just need to take this little strip off, a little strip there. And then I don't know what the fuck I was thinking on this one. Now, I could do the square one, but now I'm short 10 inches, 12 inches on the other one. So I really don't want to put another one in there. I'm going to contact the guy and see if he has another one that's at least 42 by 24 inches. Screw the pooch on that, so to speak. You know, this is different thickness and different material. Can't substitute the granite. Is it different thickness? Man, that stuff's thick over here too. but it's definitely not the same black. So yeah, that's why I wouldn't move down to that, because I don't know how to recover from this one. This one's gonna be good. The other weird thing is when I was using this hole saw, it literally went pop. Like not when I went through, like halfway through it went pop. I don't know what the hell happened. It was very weird. It was like somebody threw a firecracker in there. I'm gonna try and get that piece out. Of course it was months ago, but I remembered that I only needed to cut the edge, cut the length, like how deep it was, and that quarter out. So I don't know how I, from 4 months ago, forgot that, but apparently I did. Well, I got my sensor. I'm feeling a little annoyed. I ordered it on eBay because it was a genuine Phillips, genuine Ford, but this is the way they packaged it. So I gotta go get a knife and see what's inside. It's, being a sensor, it's not exactly the packaging I would have gone for. Okay, let's see what kind of treat they left for me. Oh, okay. This is really pissing me off, and I think I'm going to leave a really bad review because this does not look like a Ford part, which I specifically ordered. This looks like a third party, which is, well, maybe it is a Ford. Okay. So apparently there's some of these that aren't legitimate Ford parts, and you tell by that they misspelled a word on here. So far it looks like all the words are spelled right. Trademark, recommended. I forget which word it was, but it's pretty obvious. Okay, well, let's pop around there. I think this goes, I forget where this goes. It goes somewhere. There's another sensor that goes bad. But that's not what we're getting the air code for, the other one. But I think I ordered a rebuild kit. That was $300 for a new one. It's not a Ford part. It's like $400 for the Ford part. Now, of course, Ford doesn't make these. Somebody makes these for Ford. So when this goes, let's see. My ladder shoes. I think this goes down there. I don't know. It goes under here. Maybe it goes. Yeah, I think it's that one. Yes, it's that one. So that's pretty easy to pop off. 2 13s and whatever size that is. Well, let's give her a go. I got 3 air codes. One's for the make them hot glow plugs for this, and then a random one that says communication failure, but I think it's tied to this air code. The other one, I don't know what's going on. I replaced those relays. Of course, it's not that cold out, so it's not a problem. Right, on hold, so it'd be nice and warm at 1 p.m. And went to an estate sale, didn't buy anything, but at least got the wife out of the house. So this is what I got to remove, and you just put a wrench on there, but you can't use a socket and you can't use a regular wrench because you can't fit in there. I think I'm going to take this downpipe off. I could take the alternator, but the alternator just gets me down to there. It makes it a little easier to go through, but I'm pretty sure once I get this out. But this goes from here down there to over here, so I gotta snake her out. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and hopefully we can get to this. Now, ironically, the new one uses a big socket. It's down here. When I pulled the connector off, though, it's definitely, I can still gotta clean it. It's full of oil, so while this may not fix all my problems, this will fix a problem. Once I remove the downpipe and the intake pipe, I was able to get a wrench in here and remove it. And this is the sensor. You can definitely tell inside she's a little wet, so she's definitely leaking. The new one just works with a socket, so that one's already in. I gotta clean that connection and then put all this back. Well, it's back in. There we go. I cleaned it up, put some dielectric grease in there, cleaned the contacts. That's why there's some scotch on there, because I used carb cleaner, because I couldn't find my contact cleaner. She's tight. Put this beauty cover back on. That's very important. Put these hoses back on. Fought with this one. There was rust on it, so it wouldn't come out. It just spun the other end, which is barrel, which isn't good. So started up, cleared the codes, and we need to take it for a little drive. But so far, no codes come back, and they came back right away before. So definitely, I'm sure the sensor might not have been good, but also the oil wasn't helping anything either. So, Moxie, look. Well, how much fun is this going to be, Moxie? Yeah. The good thing is only spent $2. Well, we had a problem with this not syncing to my phone reliably. So it turns out there's a Bluetooth update, but I downloaded it at work, put in USB, but then I watched it last night and the USB doesn't work anymore. Then I dug around, so I found a smaller one. It needs to be FAT32, which means less than 4 gig or 32 gig. Then I did it on the Mac and it didn't like that. I don't know why. It was formatted FAT32 like it said, but I read somewhere that alluded like, are you having problems with formatting this? Did you do it on Mac or a PC? And so I went to my PC, turned that on. It wouldn't turn on, so I unplugged and plugged it back in. Now it turned on, formatted, and obviously now it's working. So it takes about 5 minutes. So we're just gonna let that be. Hope this works. Basically, I could pair my phone if I cleared it out of the system and it cleared out of my phone, and then as soon as I like stopped the car and restarted it, it wouldn't pair again. Although ironically, it paired when I got in this morning or this afternoon. So we'll see. Can't hurt. Well, my goal is to take all this, put it back here. I think it's gonna work. I gotta remove a few more things, but I should have enough room. We have a challenge getting it back there and sliding forward, but I'm kind of blocked in right now. I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff. Let's just say the burn piles. It ain't easy, but it's working. Well, my goal is a minimum to be able to put my car inside and put this car up there. But tomorrow, I'm gonna loosen up the other wheel, free that drum. It's a lot easier to steer when the wheels don't go womp 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 on the coasters. And then I'm gonna put that one down. I'm gonna back the brake off, screw off a little bit. It still drags a little bit. I'm gonna try and get it into here. So if I can get it in here, then I can put this up and lift and start working on this. I need to replace the oil pan gasket at the bottom of the engine, but you gotta take the subframe off and you gotta support the engine. This is why I have this. So this goes on the sides of the car and this holds up the engine, and that way you can lower the subframe because the subframe holds up the engine. We're gonna go do a little turtle rescue here. He's just slowly walking away. Well, we're taking it for a test drive to make sure it works. The engine light still hasn't come on. It hasn't been stubbling or surging or doing all the weird things it was 2 weekends ago when I took it to Columbus. So it's doing what it should, just driving down the road. Because I had a whole bunch of codes. I'll go ahead and read the codes later. But so far, none of them are turning on the engine light. So that's good. Yep. I think this is my smartest invention yet. Some hard disk magnets is holding the box of gloves on the metal post. So now that we've got some more room here, it's time to move the cars. Now notice there's a hole for a jack hook. I could just open the trunk, put the jack hook in there and pull the Marauder out. I'll give it a push, but I always got plan B. Well, other than the fact I can't park properly, this is supposed to be over a foot. We're back to where we were with my car outside, but at least we got this on the lift. So I don't think I'm gonna start today, but I think tomorrow. Start with taking the cross brace off that I added. That makes a big deal. It squares up the suspension because the subframe holds the bottom and these can move around. And it looks pretty. So I gotta take that off. Gotta read the video of how to replace this gasket. Now this is a Slant 6, which is a Chrysler thing in the 60s and the early 70s, but it allows you to lower the hood. And the main advantage of a 6-cylinder is it's even firing. A V8 will fire, blank, fire. It's uneven. Whereas this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's firing every, I don't know, 360 degrees divided by 6, 80 degrees, I guess. 36, do the math, 60 degrees. Anyhow, so take the bar off, suspend the engine. Not sure where. I think the holder will fit over here. That's fairly level. Then get underneath there and lower the subframe, and Bob's your cousin or something. I don't know. Anyhow, definitely, because I want to raise this up. Because I think one site suggested if you raise the engine, which I don't have a lot of room there right now, and then lower the mount, you can do it without actually removing the subframe. You just got to do a combination. Plus, I got the rolling jack. Well, it doesn't roll, but it's sliding jack. So, yeah. I'm going to close this up. I still got more room over there to move, so I'm going to roll that back a little bit when my back doesn't feel like it's on fire. I want to get to about here. See if I can attack this wheel. Got plenty of room. Yeah, it's really nice without that fucking molding here. So, yeah. Then I gotta button these things up. It's supposed to rain today, which would be nice because it hasn't rained in 2 weeks, if not longer. I mean, it rained for like a month and a half, day in, day out, it seemed, and then now it hasn't rained at all. Of course, I'm getting slightly smarter in my old age. I'm sliding the hand truck underneath and then putting the straps on there. Then I just lean it back, and it just goes right on. It's actually fairly easy. Now, once you get down the ground, though, so you see I'm gonna have to do some digging here, but I can flip and flop them. But, these are approximately where, well, that's going to go over there. I got to rearrange this walkway so it curves around a little bit more. So basically shift it all, but it looks like there's just crap in there. So, yeah. So I don't know what this is, but my daughter asked me to weld it back together, and it's a pretty thin metal. See this big glop right there, so this is going to be fun. I'm going to have to beat this back into submission and to be round. But when I use the big welder, I normally have pretty thick wire on there relative to that. So this is what I normally do. And you'd think that's small. So I got some 0.23. That's really small. But you're supposed to be half the diameter of the material you're doing. So this being pretty thin wall. But I've had problems blowing through thin wall stuff. That looks about half. At least it's a lot closer. So let me give that a go. First, I'm gonna try and put this milk bottle antique thing back together first. But I gotta pull the new wire, and I got new tips because this is too big. This is a 0.30. These are small. So it actually came out pretty good. This is actually not the side I started with. I started with the other side. I did this side first and put a big blob on there, which is about all I can do. I also took the liberty of soldering this handle together so it stays when you pick it up. It was moving around. And I just kind of blobbed her all together. But yeah, that should do the trick. Oh, good. I got the wire stuck in there. Yeah, that's great. I'll spend a few minutes bending these like that back. There's another one bent. But yeah, good folding. Plants, like those plants. So now we'll move on to this one. I got two challenges here. One, I gotta fixolate these and bend them back together. But also I gotta ground off a spot on this powder coating at the bottom so that I can hook the ground wire up to it. I have to figure out how to hold these. I'll probably just hold them in my hand. It works well, but it goes really high frequency buzzing when it's working right because it's such a thin one. Not sure where I'm going to hang this, but that's my solution for the big welding vice grips. I found this punch that works exceedingly well because it's round. It just slides right over there and fixes that right up. Okay, well, there's our spot right there. I assume you can see that. I can't bend over there. This will fit perfectly. I'm going to do this one first. You can tell by the splotches where it goes, but it fits in there perfect. So we'll just go globber on. We'll start with the part that's exposed and just kind of weld from there. Also, got to self-clean. I tell myself that. I guess I'm supposed to wire brush that. Okay, well that one's all done. I'll clean it up later. But this one's a little more complicated. I got it straight. Banged it all straight, but it's not clear where this goes. Though I think it's like this. No. See what I mean? It's not clear. Thought I had this. It's got this little valley here. It's not this valley. Oh, maybe it is. No, we gotta work on this. I thought I had this, but then I let go.